Hi everyone. Yesterday it came to my attention that a small content creator released an attack video about me that has gotten quite a lot of views. I usually don't engage with haters, but in this case, I feel there's both a really good lesson on display and I'd also like to stand up for myself. So let's go over this. This stems from a video that I put out last year from a deal I did with a guy that buys storage lockers. He came in with a bunch of weird antiques, and among the items he had was this World War II Hitler playing card set. And if you're like, why is there a Hitler playing card set? It was a piece of propaganda issued by the Third Reich. They're pretty rare. This is an ongoing theme with my content, especially on my YouTube channel. When I'm buying something, what's something worth? How do you establish a price? Especially with collectibles, it can be pretty tricky. This is the original receipt from the sale. As you can see, I paid $3,000 for that set. I sold that for $3,500. Now, if you're curious, how did I arrive at that price in the first place? You can go watch the video. The receipts are all here. But in short, I sold that set to a customer who's a World War II collector for $3,500. It cost me $40 to have it insured and shipped. I donated a little more than 20% of the proceeds to the DC Holocaust Museum, $125. So it leaves me with $335 profit on a $3,000 sale. That's a 10% margin. If you watch this whole video, there's some inconsistencies in it. For one, the person says that I overcharged on the set by a factor of 1,000%. But then if you watch to the end of the video, they say I overcharged by 25 to 30%, which is a totally reasonable margin for a business. One of the biggest themes with this page is, what's something worth? As the New York Times wondered in 2019, why is this banana worth $120,000? Why does somebody spend $5,000 on a bag that costs Louis Vuitton $50 to make? You know why? Because it's the free market. You know what something is worth? Ultimately, at the end of the day, whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. To me, that's not the most important question. To me, the most important question is, why would somebody make an attack video? That is the question you need to ask when you see something like this. I make videos for you. I make it to educate you and help you. And I do that because when I first got into this business 5 years ago, I couldn't believe how little information there was out there and just how murky of an industry this is, where people really don't know how it works. And I wanted to be transparent and communicate that to everybody. And ultimately, along the way, it snowballed into my own version of Pawn Stars. And indeed, I have made some mistakes along the way. Particularly, this is probably the biggest mistake that I made. You know what I did? I owned up to it. I tried to do the best thing possible, and it culminated with me receiving a diplomatic gift. But that's not the point here. Real lesson here is a lesson in media literacy. What does that mean? That means when you look at anything that is media related, whether it be a social media video, a newspaper post, something on TV, what have you, ask yourself, what is the point of this message? Do I take this at face value, or can I look at this message and see what's really going on here? Why does somebody make an attack video? It is to cause malice and harm to the person they are making the video about. In this case, to destroy all I have worked for, destroy my business, ruin me, ruin my reputation, and burn me to the ground. What they fail to consider is, it's not just me that they're impacting. There's 5 people that work here, and if they're successful in what they want to do, they're costing those people too. Ultimately, I make content to benefit people, to educate people. This person is making an attack video to benefit himself, to get a bunch of followers at my expense and the expense of all the people that work for me and depend on me. The next time you see an attack video, whether it be about me or somebody else, ask yourself the lesson in media literacy. Ask yourself, why is the person making this video doing so? Are they doing it to help other people, or are they doing it to help themselves at someone's expense? Now, I want to conclude this in kind of an unusual way, and that's to say thank you. Thank you to the people who stood up for me, but also, weirdly, thank you to the person who made the attack video, because in doing so, you've accidentally, again, proven why I am here, and that is to provide education. This lesson in media literacy, you guys, is the biggest takeaway here. And that lesson is, when you see a video, ask yourself, am I taking this at face value, or is there something more to this message that I'm not seeing? Just remember, you guys, the internet is a very mean place. It doesn't have to be.